Here we have onions. You can use just a regular white onion or a yellow onion. That goes into our pan. And we'll stir that around. Get that going till it's soft. And to flavor this soup, besides the onions, we're going to make this with some pasta and tomatoes and peas. And for the pasta, we're going to use this. This is a typical pasta for soup, something called ditalini. And if you didn't have this, you could use an elbow, you could use an orzo type macaroni. And we have here about 1/2 cup. So as soon as these onions are soft, I'm going to add the ditalini, so I don't want to put them in yet. And we also want tomato for this. So, 3 plum tomatoes that you've diced up. And a good way to get the skin off of them is to, first of all, put the tomatoes in water and just cook it for about a minute. Then take the tomato out. I'll show you what we do here. And then you can just peel back that skin. See how easy that comes off? If you just dip them in some boiling water for a minute or so, skin comes right off. And you can get rid of that. And then you can cut up the tomato. If you don't like the seeds, you can just take them out with your knife or squeeze them out onto your board. And then you just chop them up, just like that. And you have skinless, cut up tomatoes. So there are our tomatoes. Now let's see how we're doing on our onions over here. All right, they're nice and soft. So now I'm going to add chicken broth. About 5 cups of chicken broth goes in, and the ditalini, that goes in. And now you want to bring this to a boil. And after that, we'll add our tomatoes and our peas. But I want to talk to you about the cheese that's going to go with this soup. This is something called ricotta salata. Ricotta salata is a cheese that's made from the whey, the leftover of the cheese-making process. Actually, that's where the name comes from. Ricotta means to be recooked. So after they make cheese, they take what's left, they cook it again, and they make ricotta cheese. Now, you know ricotta cheese as a soft cheese, something that you have in a cannoli or you've used in a filling with vegetables. But when it's salted, it can be grated. So in Sicily, they do a lot of ricotta salata. So taking the ricotta cheese and instead of using it fresh, they salt it. And as it's salted, it dries out. So then you can grate it. So it looks like this. And you can buy ricotta salata in most grocery stores, the imported from Italy. So that's the cheese that's going to go with our soup later on. We want those ditalini almost cooked, and they are, before we put in the tomatoes and the peas, because we don't want to overcook these vegetables. So the tomatoes go in for beautiful color. Remember, those were the plum tomatoes that I used. And now the peas. They go in. Kind of reminds me of the colors of the Italian flag. You mix that all around, and that soup is done. So, there you have it.